the world's most advanced cold wallet for the new generation of cryptocurrency lovers.
So if you are interested in buying this decent wallet, you can find a link in the description down below where you will get a 20% discount. Thank you very much, and let's dig in the video. What's up, XRP family? Thank you guys for joining the video here. We have a lot of things to go in through. Now, remember guys that I have been talking in my videos about a certain aspect that is very important, that we have to understand what is happening with the SEC lawsuit. Now, I am going to show you something that Brett Garlinghouse said during his last interview with the CNBC, which really brought my attention to how he's saying that there may be a Ripple test. Now, what does that mean? It means, and we have been saying this for a while now, that this Ripple case is not just any case, right? It's a very big thing for the whole crypto industry, and everyone is saying that. But what is particularly interesting is that Brett Garlinghouse is saying this as well. He's saying that Ripple can be a Ripple test for the future of cryptocurrencies. Now, let's think about this for a second. Imagine the SEC, right? Imagine you're the SEC. You're not gonna go after a company which is very strong established, has 95% of clients outside the US, has probably everything sorted out from the beginning, and is very well grounded to actually win the case. The SEC would never go after a company like that. So I'm talking about Ripple. If they would, they could have gone after some other cryptocurrency that is, and they do that. But I mean, you would never choose Ripple to go after, because it's literally a battle that you obviously cannot win, right? So that leaves us to the conclusion that this is not just any case. This is a case to set an example for future currencies. And I think, guys, that this is so key to understand, because in November, it will go live. The ISO 222 SWIFT will go live. Now, after that, we will have banks following, all of them following the timeline. So it's gonna be so interesting this coming months, guys. Now let's take a look here. Ripple XRP fam, this public platform she speaks of could easily be XRPL. The interoperability of it is what the world needs. XRP and the XRPL fixes all this. The managing director of the International Monetary Fund speaking on the World Economic Forum, guys. Listen to what she is saying and give me your opinion in the comments. What do you think that she is talking about?
Yet have is international settlement based on CBDCs.
Right.
CBDCs are not yet internationalized, but this is where the potential to cut cost of remittances is. Today, on average, 6.3%. So you are a worker and you want to send money to your family in euros, in dollars, 6.3% is the cut of the intermediary. And obviously, this is an opportunity for advancement, to use technology to make advancements. Where is the difficulty? The difficulty is that today, monetary policy in a country, or as it is the case in the Eurozone, within the Eurozone, is defined by the central bank, the Fed, the European Central Bank. And this monetary policy applies to the territory, the jurisdiction. How could central bank digital currency cross borders and go into another jurisdiction? Would that create a risk of currency substitution? So everybody says, I want ECB's CBDC. I want the euro. And these are unresolved issues, but it doesn't mean they cannot be resolved. This is why, from the fund, we are advocating to think about this world of digital money as a global public good. And in a recent discussion in Zurich, where we both were, what we advocated for is to have a public platform. So when protocols are agreed, this public platform can connect different CBDCs. There can be interoperability the same way.
Now, what do you think, guys? That she's literally talking about the Ripple network. There is no way in 1,000 years that they all know what interoperability is and what all these things mean, because Ripple introduced all of this. When Ripple launched in 2013 and went through all those years, you know how fast they delivered this technology. This technology was ready from 2015. Literally, there was interoperability. There were, okay, maybe a couple things were still being developed, but the only thing that has been stifling this Ripple network is by far the regulation. The technology was already there, guys. These people just understand. Ripple came to them and they lay everything down. This is the technology, interoperability. This is what we can do. And now they start to talk about it on these conferences. These people have no idea of this technology, guys. They're not. These are people that didn't grow up with these technologies, right? And that is exactly why they are talking. All of them are talking like this. Interoperability. They're talking about CBDCs. They're talking about. This is something that you can just understand that Ripple has introduced into the whole cryptocurrency world. It was the only cryptocurrency that had real world utility from the beginning, a mission, a purpose, and now it's almost time to fulfill that purpose. So let's take a look at US central bank digital currency would not be anonymous, says Federal Reserve Chair Powell.
We think that there are four characteristics of, if we were to pursue a CBDC, it would at a minimum have the following four characteristics. First is intermediated. Second is privacy protected. But third is identity verified. So it would not be anonymous. It would not be an anonymous bearer instrument. And fourth is transferable or interoperable. So we would be looking to balance privacy protection with identity verification, which has to be done, of course, in today's traditional banking.
So very easy for Ripple to do all of this, right? And again, of course, this is like, listen, guys, this is all about control. First of all, we know that the elites are planning this and you cannot go against them. They just have the control. You have to accept that. And the thing is, you can either go with what they are building and going to be using for the future. So you can go with the institutions, with the elites and everything, go up by buying XRP. This is not financial advice. And by preparing yourself for what is coming, or you can just neglect everything and think that they're all not talking about Ripple and that they're going to be using something else, God knows what, because there's literally nothing else to be used for this solution. Jungle Inc. For 18 months, I battled people, including career securities lawyers, over this issue. They claimed the SEC was only alleging XRP as a security when Ripple sells it. The SEC has maintained from day one that any sale of XRP is the sale of a security. Any sale, all sales. Again, very interesting that the SEC chose to go after Ripple. Now, this is the one that I wanted to show you guys. Just a quick, I'm not going to show you the whole video, just a quick one where he talks about the Ripple test.
Well, so I do think, as you say, I think it's a pretty bellwether case at this point. And we talked about, the Howey test is this Orange Grove Supreme Court case from the 40s. I think the Ripple test may be what we look at in the future. And there are a lot of...
See, very quickly, he says the Ripple test may be something we'll look at in the future. This is not something you just say, guys. This is when you know it's going to happen, you say something like this.
Facts and circumstances that can be unique. But for Ripple and what the SEC is trying to do, I do think it's just the SEC trying to overreach the statute. And again, Congress gives the SEC power. The SEC can't just go take power. Congress has to pass laws that say, here's the framework. And in this case, what we're really talking about is the 1933 Securities Act, which created the SEC, which said if there's an investment contract, later on the Howey test. Look, we are very confident, as evidenced by the fact we filed summary judgment. We think, again, the facts are clear. We think the law is on our side, so we want to get to that resolution. But I do think it's important for the whole industry, because if the SEC is going to be the regulator of all crypto, and again, Gary Gensler, the current chairman of the SEC, has said he views virtually all crypto as a security, that's really going to change crypto in the United States, which is the largest economy in the world. I think we all should care that we're able to continue to innovate on these technologies and build solutions using these technologies that really can make the economy more efficient.
And
Listen also how he says if the SEC decides to regulate all cryptocurrency. So carefully listen to what he's saying, because he's saying if, because there's also the option of the CFTC intervening, which he had also a meeting with one of the CFTC members. See, he's very carefully when he talks. He understands very well the possibilities. This is very funny, guys. I never forget this statement. 2020, 2022, October 2017. This was a forecast price prediction in the Wall Street forecast. Very interesting. In October 2017, they predicted Ripple at $1,000, guys. Crazy. And of course, this didn't happen. But you would understand that they just didn't give Ripple that value just because it's, there. They gave it that value because they understand what's the technology about. One of the equations, this is actually quite a good thing. Now, this was a while back. XRP will be set price by the BIS IMF that could reach 10K. So if you want to move $1 million, you just need to send 100 XRP instead of 568,181 XRP at the price right now. Now, this makes so much sense. If you're gonna think about this, it makes so much sense. Why? We're dealing with trillions of dollars if Ripple is gonna be used. So if XRP is gonna transfer any value, it needs to have a big number of value, because then you just have to send 100 XRP instead of sending 568,000, which doesn't make sense. So this is really a good point, which is why I think in the beginning why XRP is going to reach a high value. Of course, that is going to take some while, but it's going to be interesting. XRP expecting 790% pump. Now, this is kind of a nice picture here, visuals, which we can easily see, guys. We can easily see $2.50 in a couple of weeks. Could easily happen, easily. The wallet that bought 500 million XRP also bought 300 million XRP last November hasn't sold. Clearly, they know something is going on. XRP will. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.